Alright, so I know some of you guys are looking at that title right now and going, Matt, why are you telling us the second easiest lucid dreaming technique and not the first? Well, that is because I have already actually shared probably the easiest lucid dreaming technique with you guys, and that is the intention technique. It literally boils down to just intending to lucid dream, and I've actually done a whole video about that which you can go and check out if you want to know more. But if you're anything like me, sometimes you just can't be bothered with fancy techniques, and so you like easy things like the intention technique. Well, today I'm going to share another very easy technique that you can do anytime. Before we get started, just a reminder that this video is sponsored by you guys, so if you would like to level up your lucid dreaming experience, or if you would just like to support what I do with these videos here, then consider checking out the Lucid Dream book, which you can get a link for in the top right hand corner right now, or down in the description below. So Matt, what is this easy technique you speak of? Well, it is simple. Mantras or affirmations, whatever you want to call them. The great thing about this technique is you can really decide how simple or how difficult you want to make it and how intense you want to get with it. At its most simple, it's basically a clone of the intention technique. You just get in bed and right before you go to sleep, you say to yourself, I am gonna have a lucid dream tonight. Or if you prefer to word it a bit more suggestively, you can say it in the present tense as if it's already happening. You can say, I am lucid in my dreams. And yeah, at its most simple, you can just say this one time before you go to bed. Now, is it going to be super effective if that's all you do? No, of course that's not the most effective technique in the world. But it literally takes you all of 2 seconds to do that, so you may as well do that every night anyway. But if you want to make it have a better chance of actually working, then you can do two things. You can use more than one mantra or affirmation, or you can repeat the mantra or mantras or affirmation or affirmations that you are using. And again, it is entirely up to you how much work you do here. If you're feeling really lazy, you can keep it really simple. If you want to spend a lot of time on this, you can do that. Now, first of all, let's talk about using multiple mantras or affirmations. What I suggest doing here is making each one about something slightly different. So you can say something like, I am lucid in my dreams, I remember my dreams clearly, my dreams are clear and vivid. Here you've got 3 mantras that each intend to do a certain thing. The first one is to get you lucid, the second one is to help you remember your dreams, and the third one is to help ensure your dreams are clear. And now if you actually want to repeat these mantras, there are really 2 approaches you can take. You can repeat this mantra a bunch of times in a short window of time. So like right before you go to sleep, you can repeat the mantra say 20 times. But the other approach is that you can actually space it out and say it a couple of times at different times of the day. So for example, you finish your breakfast and you say, I am lucid in my dreams. Then you finish your lunch and you say, I am lucid in my dreams. Your workday ends and you say, I am lucid in my dreams. You get the idea. You do it a bit like reality checks at random times throughout the day, and you repeat it anywhere from once to a handful of times. Now, I actually suggest taking this second approach. Spaced repetition tends to be a lot more effective as a tool for getting things into your memory. So what you can do is remind yourself to do this at certain times, or set an alarm to go off at certain times throughout the day, and then perform 1 or more mantras. And again, you can complicate this even further. You could combine it with a reality check. So you have an alarm that goes off, say 5 times throughout the day. Each time the alarm goes off, you say, I am lucid in my dreams. I remember to write my dreams down. My dreams are clear and vivid. And then you can look at your hands, count your fingers, try to poke a finger through the palm of your hands. Try to close your nose and see if you can still breathe through it. Then go back, repeat the mantras again, do the reality checks again for a second time. And again, do that a few times throughout the day. And now you've taken something very simple and turned it into something much more effective. Now, if you want to level it up and take it a step further, you can add a visualization component to this. So when you say, I am lucid in my dreams, visualize yourself actually becoming lucid, noticing that you've got an extra finger on your hand or that the text on your screen is all weird. And think of yourself saying, look, I'm in a dream. And then when you say, I remember to write my dreams down, imagine yourself actually doing that, writing in your dream journal in the morning. And when you say your dreams are clear and vivid, imagine your dreams being detailed and interesting. And just a pro tip here, but you can just imagine through your other senses as well. So if you can't see in the real world, or you have aphantasia and can't see in your mind's eye, then imagine these things through sound and touch. Recall some experiences you've had previously of getting lucid in a dream, and do this while you're actually saying the mantra. By coupling the mantra with visualization or imagination like this, you're making it much more likely to actually work for you. And if you want to level it up even further, then don't just say your mantra, actually write it down. Say it to yourself, but then type it out on your phone or write it on a piece of paper. Now, if you're doing this multiple times throughout the day, you don't have to write it down every single time, but I suggest writing it down at least once if you want to get the maximum effects. So at its absolute simplest, this technique is just saying a phrase to yourself one time before you go to sleep, but it can get as complicated as saying multiple different phrases multiple times throughout the day, combining them with reality checks and imagination. So this is a really flexible technique. When your schedule doesn't allow you to get really fancy with this, you can just simplify it as much as possible. And at other times when you've got lots of free time and you're kind of bored and you don't know what to do with yourself, you can spend lots of extra time on this and really embed those phrases that you're repeating into your brain. Now, some of you watching this might have a question for me, which is what mantras should you use? I've given some examples in this video, but you can come up with your own. Different people will respond to different things better. I do like saying things in the present tense, like the examples I gave in this video. Sometimes I just say things in the future tense. I'll say, I will be lucid in my dreams tonight. For me, I don't feel that it makes a massive difference, so I use either or, but you might find that one works better for you. Now, when you're doing self-hypnosis, sometimes rather than saying I, you can actually say you for more effect. So that's another thing that you can do if you like. You can say, you are lucid in your dreams. You have clear and vivid dreams. Sometimes our brain seems to absorb messages from other people telling us something better than when we tell ourselves it, because we don't tend to believe ourselves very much. So by saying you, we sort of trick the brain into thinking we're being told this by another person, and that could, in theory, make this more effective. What I find though is I feel a bit weird saying you in my head, so what I do is I use you when I'm speaking it aloud. So if I actually say a mantra aloud, I might say you are lucid in your dreams. But if I'm saying it in my head, I'll typically just say I am lucid in my dreams. But really, I don't think it matters all that much. I think the you technique is just a potential technique that you can use to make it a little bit more effective, but it's absolutely not necessary, and if you feel weird about it, then just use I. One thing I suggest is not using negatives in your affirmations or mantras, because I mean, say to yourself right now, I will not think of a pink elephant, I will not think of a pink elephant, I will not think of a pink elephant. What happens when you do that? You start thinking of a pink elephant because you've mentioned it in your sentence. So if you have a fear of spiders and have been having lots of nightmares of them, don't say to yourself, I will not dream about spiders, because that might actually make you dream about them and make the problem worse. So stick to focusing on the things that you do want to happen. And remember, you can use your affirmation or mantra for more than just the purpose of getting lucid. We've already seen a couple of other examples in this video of remembering your dreams and of having more clear and vivid dreams, but you can use it for all sorts of things. You can use it to remind yourself to use a particular dream control technique. You can use it to remind yourself to be slow and careful to keep the dream stable. You can use it as a dream incubation technique to encourage you to dream about certain subjects. So again, this is a really simple technique at its core, but you can get really fancy with it if you want to and you have the time. So I've got a little exercise for you, which is I want you to come up with one mantra or affirmation related to lucid dreaming that you can use today at least once before you go to bed, ideally multiple times. Write that mantra down in the comments below. I want to hear some of your ideas because then maybe you'll inspire each other as well. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications so you can stay up to date when new videos come out. If you want to keep watching, check out one of the videos on screen, go watch that, and I'll see you there soon. Take care and have some awesome lucid dreams.